Well, folks, good afternoon. All right, so this time I kind of went off on a sighting and decided to get this. And actually, I got special plans for this, so bear with me. And this was another pair of purchase from Trainz Trainz, and I've seen them around and have admired them, but obviously with the system I'm on, it never really, did I couldn't do too much with it. So, but however, I saw it as a nice price. I said, okay, well, maybe I can do something with it. So, what is this actually? So let's find out. Okay, so let's open this guy up. Let's see what this is. Okay. And of course, we have the packing slip. Let's get that out of the way. We have some bubble wrap, and it looks like it's packed in there. And we have the carton. So I kind of figured that this would be packed separately because if I know the carton, the foam probably disintegrated. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And what are we looking at? Gem Models HO Amtrak Penn Central Metroliner Set 1, powered and dummy. Okay, so this is like a brass unit, nickel plate. Nickel plated, I guess, or silver plated. I'm not sure. Okay. So let's see what we got. So of course, the units are in there, and we have here Gem Models warrant number 81. So I guess they numbered them, and this was number 81, I guess. Membership application and NMRA. Okay, that's the National Model Railroad Association. So. And then we have screws here for the Metroliner. So this is a Metroliner, obviously. In addition, additional weight of 3.5 ounces were placed inside of the power truck to give it traction. All right. So what made what was the reason for me to get this? Well, first of all, the Penn Central Metroliner or the Amtrak Metroliner was the United States' actual first shot of high-speed rail in the Northeast Corridor. When the Shinkansen came out in Japan, and the BR 103 for Germany for the intercity and TE trains, they were coming out. So so the TE and BR. The 103 was traveling at 200 kph, which is 125. And the Shinkansen Series 0 was traveling at what, I don't know what the kph is, but I'm not going to convert it. But I know that one was running at 135 miles an hour. So that, I think, might have been 230 kph, I think it was. But, so in any case, so I could do a whole big video or thing on that, but I'm not going to. But what was the reason for me getting this? Well, I'm going to do another video on this. So right now, I'm just going to find out what's up with this. But that was my first and only chance of riding the actual Westinghouse or GE Metroliners. That was the one and only chance. This was in the 70s when I was in elementary school. Ever since, I have never ridden on the Metroliner, except for, the EM7 hauled ones, and of course the now cab cars. So, but as far as the original ones, there is no. But there, you know, to see one, there is one. There's a snack car Metroliner in the Museum of Pennsylvania in Strasbourg, and it's in its original form. However, albeit the traction motors have been removed. So let's try to open this up and see what we got, okay? So they really did a good job packing this one. So kudos to Trainz. This is going to take a little bit of time, but I know some content creator speeds this up. I don't think I need to. I don't think it's going to take that long. So let's get the assessment, the excitement going on here. So honestly, this is really the only 2-rail DC HO scale train I've got. Excuse me. The other stuff I have is HOM, which is narrow gauge. It looks like the dust is affecting me here. Let's start opening this up, so bear with me. Okay, but very well. Very well done. And here we go. Definitely I'll be reusing this bubble wrap. And here's the unpowered, the unpowered unit. And I remember when I was, oh, well, we got an issue here. So looks like this fell out. All right, so let's find out what's going on with all of this, of course. It's not the end of the world, I don't think. I just have to see what happened. So let's first take a look at the unpowered unit. It looks like it's intact. All right, so basically what you're looking at here is just the shell. I mean, you got Walthers out there that really have a nice prototype out there. But this is basically the shell, okay? It is, well, okay. Let's look at the front here. Definitely needs to be cleaned up, but that's the Metroliner front end. So this is going to be like somebody that's a project that's going to work getting like lights and the, it doesn't even have cellophane on here for the windows. Okay, so the pantograph definitely springs up. I got to figure out how to lock it down. I just have to fiddle with it. And I probably can get better pantographs on this, but let's see how this rolls. All right, so, okay. So let's see what happened here, because it looks like the drive unit happened to come out, and I don't know how. Let's see the damage on this, of course. Oh, there it is. It fell right in. Looks like what happened is the screw came out. Let's see. So it looks like what happened here is the body screws came out. I don't know how, but it did. But I got, looks like they enclosed some. Oh, here's one of them. I got one of them. That's the one. I don't know about trying to find the other one. Man, I don't know, maybe it might turn up in the packing. That's kind of disappointing, but let's see if we can try to lock this in, maybe. Well, let's take a look at the motor since it's out. Yeah, that was totally unexpected. So it looks like it has a magnet motor. Oh, that's right there. That looks like might be a 5-pole motor in it. Does not have a flywheel. So at one point I'll test it out and see what is on the DC. I got DC power supply, so, but maybe I can just bring this over. Maybe I could just lock the one in, and maybe I'll try to hunt for the other one. But yeah, that's a little disappointing. I don't think it's not Train's fault. It's just probably just the way eventually as it was handled. It just rattled out during the movement. So all right, so we need a Phillips head screwdriver. So let's try to get the toolkit if I can find it. There it is. So we'll use the toolkit. We'll see if we can get it in there. Let me try to futz with this a little bit. I can get it in there. There we go. It's not screwing in. What could have happened, it got sheared off. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, it looks like what happened was it got sheared off because it's not driving in at all. So looks like what I need to get is a couple of additional screws. Yeah, that's not going in. So, all right, so I'll figure that out. So I have to call them up and let them know, hey, that the unit has separate the drive section is separated. I mean, I'm sure I can find some screws and get it tapped in, or I'll just send it down to Scott at Helmets Hobbies to see if he can just get it in. But that's all right. I'll take a test on this at one point and with it like this. Okay, folks, so I decided to go ahead and try to see if I can get the train to run. So, I mean, at least get the wheels to turn. So what I did was the following. I hooked up this Tyco power pack since it's, DC. And hooked up some 2 leads here. And we're just going to try to see if I can get it to run, okay? So let's give it a shot. See what happens here. So I would imagine I have to do something like this. So let's move in here. Let's zoom in on this a little bit here. See if we can get this thing to at least get the wheels to turn. Let's see what happens. I'll just set the halfway, the power supply. Hey, look at that, it goes. Wow, very silent too, look at that. All right, so let's go ahead and swap these out, and should be able to go the other way now. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Let me go ahead and clamp it on. Not bad. I mean, from a Tyco power pack, it's just, you know, not going to give me that kind of performance. But okay, so that's fine. The wheels turn both directions, no issues. I mean, you know, I can live with it. So let's go ahead and hit the reverse. Yep. No problem. It's pretty quiet, so it definitely looks like it's a 5-pole motor in there. So, all right, very well. So what I'm going to do is I'll contact Trainz and see what they can do for me on this, and I'll send this down to Scott Hausman, see if he can bolt put the bolster on the car body, and then we go from there. So that's about it. So again, I will be coming back to you later on this. Okay. Again, bye for now.